You've seen the team that they picked. They showed us that respect, and we showed them the respect that we weren't just going to, turn up and swap shirts and take pictures.
Another game, and we'll be talking about VAR again, unfortunately. Your thoughts on what occurred out there?
Press play, innit, for me. Because I've said it all along, haven't I? That the percentages that we're looking at to improve the game to what's happening to everybody are not big enough. That's what I think. I must have been about 8 or 9 goals over this weekend, innit? I look at, Vrancic ball to Pukki, brilliant bit of play, fantastic finish. Nobody knows where they're drawing the lines from. They're all blurred. It's not going back onto his foot where it left. Nobody's showing anything. Goal ruled out. I always thought that all the rules that were brought in, and can't tackle anymore. So that's about protecting and entertaining, making sure the best players can do their stuff. But obviously they can't if they pass a ball brilliantly like Fleck did, and Mousset gets in on a brilliant run. Vrancic passes the ball yesterday, and Pukki gets in a brilliant run and finish. So I've said my bit about that, but it'll all just get brushed aside. But there it is.
And the second goal. Oh, sorry,
the first goal, the game changer. And it did change the game. There's no doubt about that. From my opinion, I'm not saying that we would have gone on to win it, but we felt comfortable. The shape of the team was good, out of possession. We weren't going to just come and make it easy for Manchester City. You've seen the team that they picked. They showed us that respect, and we showed them the respect that we weren't just going to, turn up and swap shirts and take pictures. We want to make it difficult for world-class players, and I think we did first half, and even the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. But the rule came in, as we saw in the summer when we had that pre-season game, and everybody's going, "What's happening here?" Yeah, that's that new rule that somebody's brought in when it hits the referee. But he's affected the game. I've got to say, he invited me into his room afterwards, and we had a private conversation. And he was very honest and open about what he said to me. Whether the PG, LMO, or whatever it is, comes out and says something, that's up to them. But I've got to say, the referee was open and honest about what he thought about that. I'll leave that between me and him. Put 2 and 2 together though, and you're going to get the answer. And he's affected the game. I believe he just blows up. I don't think that there would have been a big debate about it from opposition players or manager. What I will say though, if it happened on the other way round, I think there might have been a little bit more to say than what I'm saying about it now.
Chris, can you just over here? Here.
Sorry.
Just to be absolutely clear, did it hit the referee or not? It didn't seem to.
No, I don't think it, but I think he sort of. Well, obviously you've seen it. You make your mind up. He's right in the mix of it. And does he affect the play? Does he affect John Fleck? Does he affect the play? The bodies around him. And I'm not saying he should be invisible and float about the place, but he's played a part. Do we want referees playing a part in an opening goal? Just as much as do we want people to draw silly lines and blurred lines and on feet and arms and elbows and hands and when it comes off the end of the foot, do we want people to do that? No. So there you go.
You've already mentioned your first half performance. One player in particular, John Fleck. What were your thoughts on his performance? The pass to Mousset was fantastic, and he seemed a really good player today. Yeah,
I thought all my players were good. They stuck to the plan. You have to be disciplined and you have to be selfless as well when you play like that. You can't break the chain, and we did. We didn't, sorry, none of them did. But I always think that you can't come here and just sit and play like that for 95 minutes. You have to have something going the other way, and I think we did. Possession, stats, passes, million passes, and they're brilliant the way they move the ball about, and the quality of the players is just fantastic. And love watching Manchester City, how the way they go and how they work and how they play. The attitude of the manager, you saw his attitude when the first one went in, and especially the second one. It was a big relief. I should imagine he does that if he's having a 5-a-side or a game of pool, so he's a winner. But I thought we got the balance right, and I think we created the clearer chances. Billy Sharp's header, Mousset, 2 or 3, John Egan's header. And always when you come to these places or you play the likes of your Liverpools and your Manchester Cities, when the opportunity comes, you have to take them. And unfortunately we didn't. If we did, obviously it gives us a better chance of winning. I'm not saying that we would have won, but obviously, you know, you have the percentages go up if you score a goal.
Hi Chris, just a quick question on John Lundstram. He missed out today. How close was he to making the team?
He turned his ankle. He wanted to stay on the pitch against Watford, which sort of epitomises what all my players are about. They're really disappointed in there. That's a sign for me of the character of the players and what they've got under the shirt. They didn't go out the back door. You know, it's a proud record we've got in terms of away performances. I suppose you'll look at it, and if we are going to get beat, you know, let's get beat going out the front door, which I think we did. We're disappointed that John wasn't available. He turned his ankle and made it possibly a little bit worse than maybe it would have been if he'd have come on, but he didn't want to come off against Watford. And we'll just assess him and give him every opportunity. Even though I thought Mo Besic, first game of the season in that a little bit of an unfamiliar position, did well. And Callum and Lys were my 2 other changes, and I thought out of possession they were great, and I thought in possession they caused a threat to obviously an outstanding team.
Chris, what's your emotions after finally that unbeaten away record coming to an end?
As a manager, it is really difficult to take positives when you get beat, and that is being totally honest about it. I do think there is always a way to if you are going to lose, a way to lose that I don't really enjoy or like, but just seeing my team out there and the run that had been on, and as I said, we always knew. Did we think that we'd take our unbeaten run into the back end of December? I don't think so. But we grew in confidence and we've grown in belief. Hopefully it's a great learning curve for us, playing just a quality team, and the unbelievable players and individuals and team that they've got here. Great learning curve. The 2 clubs are light years ahead. They weren't at one stage, maybe about 20 years ago. They were quite tight, but then something happened, and then off one club went, and another club really didn't sort of move that forward at the pace that Man City have. So we're light years ahead, but I didn't think we were. The gap was unbelievably visible today in terms of the tightness of the game. You know, whether they're better side in possession, yeah, you've got world class players, and you know you have to accept and deal with that. But my team give it a go, which is always just the basic remit that we have.
Chris, Pep Guardiola was very complimentary about your team when he came in here. Will you be able to take any comfort from that? If not tonight, then in days to come, or does the defeat just sort of rule that out? No,
it's just as I said, you know, this is a promoted team in the Premier League. I wouldn't have imagined that. I think that their record against the promoted teams for a number of years has been wins. But I'm sure that not many of the promoted teams that they've been up against since maybe Pep's been here or even before have maybe made the game as tight as what it was this afternoon tonight. So there's always a learner for us. Learn that our players, if they keep the shape and discipline, you know, and make it difficult for the opposition, we can give anybody a game. I do think, and I'm possibly chairman of a fairly obvious club. There's 2 teams that are way ahead of everybody in the division, and obviously, thankfully for us, we've got another one in about 4 days' time. So yeah, can't wait for that.
Chris, just a quick one. Have you actually seen a video replay of the disallowed goal, the Mousset goal?
Yeah.
I just wondered if you had a view.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
From the angle you've seen or the view you've seen.
Yeah, just and you always when every goal goes in now, we've got monitors by the side of the pitch. It sometimes doesn't do the linesman and the 4th official any favours when I come rattling in their ears and saying you've got that one wrong and you got that one wrong, but that's part and parcel of it. But yeah, we had a close up of that, and obviously the first goal as well.
And was your view that it was onside?
I just think it's you know, these things are so and there's no conclusive evidence really, because of, like I said, blurred lines and where they're taking it from and angles and whatever. And I'm not sure if they are going to bring it in and they're going to do it. Surely there's got to be a more clearer way of defining this with all the technology we've got nowadays at our disposal.
Just on that point, Chris, I mean, both sets of supporters at the same time were sort of expressing their dissatisfaction with this system, VAR.
I think up and down the country, you know, we had 29,000 people at Norwich saying something else before VAR, and today there was a 4-letter word before VAR. But these are proper football people, you know, and I've huge amount of respect for Manchester City. I've got pals that have come through the youth team in the day, you know, in the 80s, the likes of, you know, Beresford and Lake and all those guys that played. And very similar identity, both clubs in a 2-team city. Manchester City and Sheffield United got quite, well, used to anyway, but possibly not now. But they're always, you know, proper football people here. You know, Brian Kidd came up to us afterwards, and he was a great guy as well. So, yeah.
But do you think it's reformable, this system, or do you think they should scrap it?
I don't. Well, that's not my choice, and it's not my decision. I think it has to improve because it's, yet again, as we talked about, first question, and 9 goals knocked off, and I don't think, you know, there is going to be goals knocked off. I'm not going to say that there isn't, but you know, where there's so much debate on every goal. You know, every goal from any, you know, this will be analysed yet again, and there'll be, you know, with different pictures from different angles and different lines and blurred lines, and where does he leave his foot or whatever, maybe. I just don't think it's been refined enough to make a difference.